All right, I'm going to bring you the momentum tracker here. We're going to look at stocks that are resisting the market drop for now and where that money is going or hiding. I said here earlier in the show that Bank of America shared their report that money was actually still moving into stocks, especially from the bond market as those flows were coming out of there, scared by the Fed. And then money is moving into some stocks in the market. Of course, we've seen tons of them collapse, especially the ones that were getting bought during the time of the pandemic over the last year and a half, 2 years. And some of them down huge amounts. A stock like Robinhood is down some 80-something%, just massive moves from its peak. So that is a market that's been very challenging, of course, for a lot of investors as stocks that they thought were growth stocks, well, forever, really got trashed. But they're moving into some stocks, and we actually want to take a look at which stocks that is. So I'm going to switch over to the momentum tracker. You see that right here. And this is a great app that we built. And in here, you can search for individual symbols, or you could select the watch list, which I'm going to do over here. In fact, I'm going to select several of them. It was a couple of weeks ago that I showed the askSlim Market Monitor, where we look at kind of swing trade setups using our proprietary indicators. Well, this is really 3+ month outlook, as we're using a little longer term indicators in here. So I'm going to pick this watch list over here, and we're going to go through some of these spider selects and just get a sense for the top 3 or 5 in each group that money is still going into that has not really broken down. So I'm going to pick the energy sector right here, which is a strong sector right now. And you can see in here that we have the symbol, the company, our directional bias based on our formulas, our 3-month view, the outlook, as you see there. And there's a long-term, intermediate, and short-term readings in here regarding the momentum conditions. And we bring you the sum of the evidence, and that's what we talk about right in here when we look at these. This is also very interesting because look at this pie chart. What that shows you is that our sum of the evidence is based on our directional bias ratio is 92% positive in the energy sector. And of course, with energy moving up, that is what's going on. So a real powerful look when you look at that right there. I'm just going to look at the top 5 or so in here, and you can see all bullish across, and these listed as very bullish right over here. APA, BKR, which is Baker Hughes, ConocoPhillips, CVX, Devon is bullish. So you get a good idea on that on the momentum tracker. There are really not any real negative stocks to look at. This is a very strong group, and that's where money is flowing. Let's go to the next right over here, next one here, and that's consumer staples. This tends to also be a group that investors hide in. I'm just going to, you see, you can go up and down in here as I sort. And the very bullish ones in here that you can see are General Mills, Mondelez, Kroger, Kellogg is right down over there, all green all the way across. And you can see in here this group is 70% still positive as far as longer term momentum conditions exist. So this is a group that traders, investors tend to hide in and send money in, especially when the market is weak. Let's take a look at consumer staples. I'll look in there and we'll go up and down here, and it's actually, there you go. Oops, I meant to go into a different group. That was consumer staples right there, and now we want to go into healthcare. Sorry. There you go. So healthcare in here, let's just look at the ones that are bullish. You only have one very bullish in here, that's Vertex. You've got CVS and Cerner Group, Corp, all bullish, ABC, Baxter International. Problem is that some of these short-term conditions have neutralized, and here as the market has fallen, but you can see in here they still look quite strong. If I go to the most bearish in here, Biogen IDEC, you can see is the most bearish in there for the longer term outlook. So let's look at the next one right in here, and that is, see, I have the focus list in there. Real estate, let's just take a peek at real estate right over here. Of course, the housing stocks have really started to weaken. I can't get to a very bullish. There are bullish stocks in here, as you can see. Equity Residential, Realty Income Corp, Boston Properties are bullish. But you see in here they're bullish on long-term and intermediate term, and they're only neutral to negative here on the short term. So they're affected by this market decline, but they're still in okay condition. But look over here. You see in this group of real estate, 28% are positive. The rest are neutral. In other words, there's nothing negative in here in the real estate category. So not that horrible for the longer term when you look at that. Let's look at the communication services. This is the newest one of the group, and we'll go by the directional bias. And you can get to a bullish stock, which is IPG. There are slightly bullish ones, OMC, Google, both of the alphabet stocks are neutral to slightly bullish, and that's only because the long term is still holding positive, but you can see what's going on here in intermediate term and negative. So not so good when you look at that. If I look at the, just for the heck of it, look at the very bearish, Twitter, Disney, T-Mobile, Charter, I mean, really negative condition. You can see in here that there are only 8% of the stocks that are positive in this communication category, 65% neutral, and 27% are now negative in there. So that's a look at the XLC, the communication. Let's take a look at the industrials here. And you can see that, well, there's a lot of bearish ones in there, but I wanted to show you the ones that were still positive. Northrop Grumman hanging in at very bullish. Some other stocks that are bullish, Westinghouse, Air Brake Technologies, and UTX and Dover Corp. Those, this one, the best one is NOC, and then these right in here show you intermediate and long term that are still positive, but Westinghouse has become negative on the short term. UTX and Dover are neutral. So what do you have here? You have 21% positive, 18% negative, and the rest are neutral. So a lot of stocks have gone neutral, as you can see in there. So that's a look at the what group was that we looked at? The industrials, right? Okay, so now let's move down over here and take a look at the technology category, XLK, which Matt did a special video on and illustrated Intel and Microsoft to you in that category. Let's look for the very bullish in here. Well, can I get to any? We can get to some bullish in here. Norton LifeLock, Cognizant, Jack Henry. Those are three stocks that are still bullish. You can see in here that they're neutral in the short term, but they're holding up on the long term and intermediate term. So there's a, you know, these are pretty rock solid in this kind of a market that's been moving up. And you can see in here 9% positive, 15% negative, and the rest are neutral. So what we're really getting at is that a lot of stocks have turned neutral, but, you know, not that many really negative. Which are the really negative ones in here? Well, Skyworks, Alliance, IPG, Photonics. You can see those are really negative stocks coming all the way across. Looking at that, I didn't really expect to spend much time on the bearish ones. Really wanted to look where money is flowing into in here. Let's look at the XLY, consumer discretionary, and the most positive ones we have in here are MGM, Marriott, and Ford. Those are still positive, though you can see the short term in here has been negative right in there, or neutral, and that's why this doesn't say very bullish. But remember, the long term and intermediate term have much stronger weightings, much bigger weightings, so the shorter term doesn't affect it that much, and that's how it really comes to that outlook. You can see in here, in a short-term correction, conditions suggest upside resumption is really pending. So that's what you see when you get that kind of a reading. When you see a really negative reading like VF Corp, weak negative conditions suggest failed rallies and lower prices. And you know that when you look at those stocks, you've really gotten that kind of a condition going on. When you look at something like MGM Resorts, I can actually go to a chart in here. You can see, and you can see where it actually has been, you know, pretty much positive throughout this whole time, as it's been in a very, very narrow range in here. When it's dark green, it's very positive. When it's light green, it's not as positive. So just wanted to give you a little peek at what that looks like on the charts. They'll tell you when you have a more bullish or more bearish condition. So let's look at the consumer discretionaries. Let's take a look at the financials and the materials, and we'll wrap this up. Here you see very bullish Charles Schwab, Citizens Financial, Wells Fargo, Progressive Corp, Everest Real Estate Group. Those are all very positive when you look all the way across. The financials are 57% versus 35%. Little peek at the very bearish in here, and you can see that there's not that many that are very bearish in this financial condition right there, and only market taxes is the one that looks the most negative. So that's the financials, and one more group we'll look at in here, and that is the materials. You can see we have all these canned groups in there that you can use. Directional bias right here, we have bullish right there, and that's Celanese, Mosaic, which is of course a fertilizer stock. Fertilizer prices are screaming. Amcor is another one that's strong, and you can see these are kind of neutral, and you have 4% negative, 25%, 29% positive, and a lot of neutral when you look in that category. So that's kind of a look at the momentum tracker. I really wanted to show you that, where you get to see how we use just a great aspect of this kind of information. And of course, this is for investors, and you can just type an individual symbol in here. As you see, we'll just put Apple in there and search it, and then Apple will come up right on the top, right over here. Well, I don't know what's going on there. Single symbol, that's the problem. There you go, Apple. Forgot to click the single symbol, and you can see you can just punch anything in there you want. Take a look at IBM, which just reported earnings, and you can see what's going on there. So it's just amazing app that we have in there. I wanted to show you that on the momentum tracker, and you get a good idea of what's going on for the intermediate to longer term using our momentum tracker. Believe it or not, this great app is available for level 1 members. In just a moment, I'm going to show you a special for our level 1 members, new level 1 members. This is the askSlim level 1 membership. There's a misspelling in there. This is what's included in this special. You're going to get the Slimulator Momentum Tracker, which over 1,000 symbols and 22 different canned groups for sorting and scanning for longer term. I just illustrated that. If you didn't watch that, go back and watch it. You're going to get our stock index report daily, which is amazing technical analysis that's put out every single day for shorter term traders of the stock indexes. The ETF Spider Review, which comes out weekly. Our new trader workbench, where you can just organize, prioritize, and save and track all your analysis. The askSlim Market Week Show Archive. You go back and watch everything on the show. You'll be included in a lot of our live shows, and you'll certainly get the replays, 70 minutes packed with tons of teaching in there, and special member videos. I'm going to right now go back to the askSlim website and just give you a little idea of what the stock index report looks like. Just so you can see, I'm going to leave the momentum tracker and come to the top of the askSlim page, and I'm going to go into my dashboard right over here, and that's going to take me into my own dashboard, and I'm going to go to the daily snapshot right here. Now let's take a look at this daily snapshot, and we'll look at the one that was posted yesterday. So I'm just going to click on that, and it's going to bring up the snapshot for you, and you'll get an idea as to everything that is included in here. There's little tips up on the top of how to use things, and this is the technical summaries, and then it gives the individual breakdowns on tons of information. I'll show you here in the S&P 500 what it includes. So it's a technical summary right in here on all of them, which gives you all of the information on important levels and conditions in the particular indexes. You'll see that right there. Let me go into the S&P 500, and you can see our charts are included in here, where you look at, in this case, it's a 2-hour chart with our proprietary indicators. This is shows you our daily chart right over there with proprietary cycle analysis. And this is our weekly chart here with the projections in there and the cycle analysis. Great information that you get looking at that. You get our short-term outlook right over here that you can see, which shows you the outlook on the for the short-term and near-term intraday conditions right there. You can also get the intermediate outlook and the longer-term outlook. Looking at that, you get that for the NASDAQ and for the Russell 2000, and the technical evidence comparisons. Here's the momentum tracker charts right here, which shows you the conditions of the market, each of the market, S&P 500, NASDAQ, and Russell. Just amazing. And our 2-hour momentum conditions, look at how bad that is. When you look at that, you're going to get bounces in the market, but it is very, very likely that they will fail. Just a lot of weakness when you look at that. You get our cycle analysis table right over here, which gives you all the information on our cycle analysis, and a little idealized example of what cycle analysis is when you look at that. And all of that is just an amazing amount of analysis that goes into this report free every single day for our level 1 members. Just incredible. Let's take a look at this pricing that we have for this special. Normally this level 1 is $19.95, but it's about a 50% discount right now. It's $10 a month, $30. You have to sign up for 3 months to get everything that I'm showing you right here. Just go to askSlim.com on the top of the main page to join. Click on that discount link and go in there. You have any questions, or you can't get the link up, or you can't subscribe for some reason, write to Matt at askSlim.com. Everything I just showed you, that momentum tracker, fantastic, all that. $10 a month, $30 is what you'll pay for 3 months going forward. I don't know where you're going to get more information that is so good than you'll get right here. Sign up right now.
Well, I'm going to the city and I'm going to do a steady show. And I know all my fans want to learn how to make some dough. I've been